I don't know where we should start. Do you want to fire off questions to me first, and then we can talk about brainstorming different ways that people could, without knowing all the details or knowing how to set it up, because that part isn't important. It's getting information from whatever system they keep their prospects or customers information in and getting it over to Mailbox Power.
So I guess what I always wonder about is what does it look like on their end when they want to, let's say they want to send a nice to meet you card and gift.
Okay. If they're using, let's say, KW Command. Okay. If they're using KW Command, Command uses lots of tags. Agents can use different tags to keep track of who's who in their CRM, right? So I have set up an integration where anybody that the agent adds to Command that has the tag lead or buyer, something, whatever, that they come over to Mailbox Power and are put into a certain group. And that group is then associated with or tied to an automation. And I set that up for like 8 different tags that she uses a lot. So when she closes, she'll add the tag that she normally uses for when she closes on a deal. And it comes over to Mailbox Power. It's put into a separate group tied to an automation. And that person is everything's all happening in the background. There is no interface difference when she's using Command or when she's inside Mailbox Power. She just knows that when she puts this tag on a person over in Command, that when she comes over and looks in Mailbox Power, she's going to see stuff shipping out because they're in the groups that are tied to the automations. Yes, Jim.
Do you have another CRM on your computer that that's integrated with Mailbox Power that you could like go there and show us?
Well, let me ask you, what are you hoping to see there?
I know that Keller Williams agents and anybody else, almost any other CRM can integrate, but I don't really have a good. I know that what you just said, if they tag them with something, they can go into a group, and if there's an automation set up, that's done. But they don't click over from the CRM to Mailbox Power. I mean, it doesn't just happen. They can't create and send anything from their CRM other than putting them in a group, and then it happens automatically if they have that preset up as an automation. Is that correct?
That is correct. They don't get a Mailbox Power user interface on their CRM. They get it doesn't have to be tag based. So, for instance, KV Core uses a lot of hashtags that are tied to smart campaigns, right? So if they want to add a Mailbox Power integration that is tied to one of their smart campaigns, they could tag them with whatever tag they have already set up, and then we can put them into a group and, same kind of flow. Or it could just be a CRM and they just want everybody from their CRM over in Mailbox Power. I can set that up too. It can be done. Where just anybody that gets added will be added to their Mailbox Power account as well.
Does that work in reverse also? Like if somebody's using a CRM and they input them into Mailbox Power's database, does it automatically go to their other CRM?
And that's the way mine works.
Does.
Say that one more time.
Contact. If I use Keller Williams CRM, what you're saying is it can be set up that everybody that's in my Keller Williams database can automatically be just, once they're integrated, they're automatically in Mailbox Power, right? And anytime I add a new one into Keller Williams, it will be in Mailbox Power.
Yes.
If I add one to Mailbox Power, will that integrate back into Keller Williams CRM?
Not yet.
Right.
But that's just because it's Keller Williams.
No.
Because when I enter something in Mailbox Power, it zaps over to my CRM.
Okay. Yes. My bad. Thank you, Marie. Yes.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about updating contacts. You're talking about adding a brand new contact and just sending it back to your CRM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Updating wouldn't work. Would updating work the other way?
Updating works as long as you don't, it's not an address update, which kind of defeats the purpose, which is why I said not yet, because that's really the next big step, I think. And I am constantly begging, not begging. It's not like Justin has said no to me. He's just been kind of busy. So eventually we'll be able to talk both ways. Hopefully. So far, how are we doing?
So what if we have a customer that goes to the integration section and thinks that they are computer savvy enough to do this on their own? Can you demonstrate like someone like that who's going to go through Zapier or something like that, what they do to set it up?
Zapier is a boatload of extra work. It's kind of hard. Zapier is not the easiest system I've ever worked in. And tomorrow on the Lunch and Learn, you should be there. We're going to announce a new partnership with an integration company who has really taken, well, they focus on real estate agents. And so almost every major CRM can now be tied to Mailbox Power, integrated with Mailbox Power. And the setup is stupid easy. It's so easy. You could set it up without knowing really anything about what you're doing, and it would work.
Do any CRM?
Not any. There's a lot of CRMs that it ties to right now. But like I said, mostly in the real estate market. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, kind of. We're just confused because we don't understand anything about, like, maybe you could take us to the MVP integrations page and kind of explain it. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would help? And it's nodding.
That would be helpful for me, I know, because it's the only thing I don't know how to do in Mailbox Power is the integrations.
I'm totally
I would be interested. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to at least be knowledgeable about its capabilities and a little bit about how it works. So when I talk to someone that has a robust CRM, that we can say, yes, we can integrate and this is what it can do for you. Can you take us to maybe that level?
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, I paid somebody to integrate mine. It wasn't something I was willing to try to do. It was too complicated.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I'm totally hands off on this thing, but I need to be able to articulate to potential clients its capabilities and why it's a cool deal. Why they need that in their arsenal.
What you're saying is pretty soon it's going to be a whole lot easier, and they may not even have to pay anybody to do it.
Yes.
Is Zapier totally gone then? Is this replaced?
No, it doesn't replace Zapier. It's just easier and more user friendly and fast, and you don't have to schedule a meeting with me and then spend a lot of time on Zoom. And it's a really fast process.
That's for realtors though.
Yes, but some of the CRMs that are on, and also, okay, so some of the CRMs that are available in this new system are also non-realtor specific. For example, Laura, Go High Level. Okay, that one integrates beautifully. And also there's workarounds. So if you're if your CRM isn't on the list, there are ways that the information can be sent to like Google Sheets or Google Contacts or some other place, and then we can pull the information from Google Sheets or Google Contacts and bring it over to Mailbox Power. So that's a little more complicated, but it can be done.
What about stages? Because most CRMs, you've got a lead, then they go to a stage that they're a prospect, and then you're talking to them, and then they become a customer, and then you close the sale. So could you set something up so that every time they changed status, just like a hashtag or a tag, that you could trigger off automation on a status change?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so,
but basically what I'm hearing is you've got to have automation set up for basic things that happen in business that you want everyone to get something. So welcome, thank you, thanks for your first order, just the basic stuff that does. And if you want to do one-offs or extra things like a fall card or whatever, you would come over to Mailbox Power to do that.
That's
So you can't be in your CRM and say, okay, this group of people get the fall card. You go over to MVP and do that.
You,
So for instance, if I set up the fall card as an automation in MVP,
uh-huh.
do I then have to know how to trigger that to my customers out of MVP? Or could I go back to my CRM and say, here's my current customer group, I want them all to get this? Are they having to learn both systems to do things like that, or?
No, what they need to keep straight is what they're doing in their CRM. What tag is tied to what automation on the other side.
So
if
they just create a fall tag and associate that with the automation.
and off it goes. Without ever, they don't even have to create the groups in Mailbox Power. That is all taken care of through the integration. So
That's a plus.
yeah. So
I'm with Nanette. I'll never, even if you taught me how to do it, I wouldn't remember how to integrate somebody. So, but what she said is what I need to know, the benefits of having the integration between whatever their system is and Mailbox Power is that all their contacts will automatically be on the Mailbox Power all the time. And when they add new contacts, it will automatically go to Mailbox Power.
that's right.
Benefit. And the other benefit is if you have groups and you have automations, if they're in that group, they're going to automatically get a card as soon as you input them. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
So are there any other, I mean, those are two great benefits. So I'm not being negative. Those are humongous. Is there anything else that any other reason they would want that integration would benefit somebody?
To keep them to keep them from having to log into two separate systems and manage that database on the Mailbox Power side. It's not, Mailbox Power isn't set up as a CRM. It's not intended to be used that way. So it's the perfect match. Everything you do in your main CRM or your main system is just reflected in Mailbox Power, but you're staying in Command or KB4 or High Level or whatever you're using, and you're not having to really worry about. The main thing that needs to be done when a new customer comes on is they have got to get their nice to meet yous, their holiday cards, their closing, what do we call it? Ditch the basket, campaigns, automations, all those things set up, and then the integration set up, and then let the thing fly. So what is the benefit to them? Obviously, it's the things you just said.
So
I have a question. Are we going to get a list of which systems are going to integrate well? Because if we're not in the real estate market or clients aren't in real estate, how do we know which ones we're going to be easy to use? I mean, what comes to my mind is Constant Contact email marketing, because that's a database that I use, and I haven't even integrated that in. So because I think it's a Zapier right now, is that possibly going to be one of the ones that will be easier to use? And you mentioned a monthly cost. Does everything have a monthly cost?
Yeah.
Even when we partner with the integration company, there's going to be a monthly cost of some sort?
Yes. It's $10 a month.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a big deal. Yeah,
No.
$10 a month is
Yeah.
not a
So
big
I mean,
deal.
if you wanted like 5 different things all tied together, then it would be $50 a month.
So each integration costs $10 a month?
Okay, if it's KW Command to Mailbox Power, but you want this tag does this tag does that. It's just still between KW Command and Mailbox Power. It's $10 a month. As many syncs as you want.
Okay.
So one integration is $10 a month. You can have multiple syncs doing different things inside those two systems. So let me just give you the highlights. I think there's like 26 integrations right now, and I will read them off to you. So there's Constant Contacts, Chime,
Yay.
Brivity, Boomtown, Dotloop, eRelocation, Facebook Lead Ads, Follow Up Boss, Google Contacts, Google Sheets, Guesty, High Level, iPhone Contacts, KB Core, KW Command, Lead Connector, Lion Desk, Listings to Leads, MailChimp. MailChimp is enough. Don't pay any attention to that. That one's not ready yet. Mojo, Outlook, Property Base, Salesforce Edition, Real Geeks, Realtor.com, Sky Slope, Zillow Leads, and Transactions, the zip form edition.
Can you put that list in the chat so we can have it? I don't
No.
type that fast.
You'll
No?
get it tomorrow.
We'll get it. Okay. We'll get it. We'll get it during the integration lunch and learn
Yeah.
officially.
So, yeah. Yeah. You can set these up through Zapier, but like I said, it's ease of use, and the support you get is all US based from this company. And it's not, well, it is through email, but they are amazing people to work with and are extremely responsive, and they care a lot about their customers. And so their whole goal is to get you up and running as quickly as possible, which you're totally able to do on your own. But if there's any issues, their response time is like lightning. Someone's got their hand up.
You continue on with your thought.
I can't remember my thought. It's fine. I'm getting old.
I raised my hand. You lost track. Sorry. So say someone is set up like Marie is already set up through Zapier. How often do things go wrong? Do the links stay pretty solid and work for years and years, or do they often break? Or so once you have it set up, is it pretty solid?
It's really solid. And that goes for Zapier too. Zapier, I will say, tends to have run into errors, and it's a bit more advanced. So you can do some really trick stuff with Zapier. You don't have to, but you can do some really powerful things, right? When you have a Zap setup, I'm talking about Zapier now. When I use the term Zap, it's the same thing as a sync. Okay. There are things that if you change your username or password to one of your accounts, that will break your integration for sure, right? Lots of people don't think about that though. That's like one of the number one issues. Oh, I changed, whatever. Yeah, that's really the only time I can think that an integration would actually break. It can have errors. Users, if you don't put in Mailbox Power has minimum requirements: a first name, a last name, and a full mailing address. Those are the bare minimum that any CRM they're using has to have for them to make it over to Mailbox Power. So if they have 100 people in their CRM and only 50 of them have mailing addresses, only 50 are coming over, not everybody. What I really wanted to do tonight was to brainstorm ways that people could use, just like you were kind of asking right now, Laura, about maybe it doesn't have to be an advanced integration, but different scenarios or use cases, so that we can start talking to prospects about, different ways and clever new ideas for them to, once they have their Mailbox Power account, use it, but with all the other systems that they're already using. Does that make sense?
Andrea, this is Suzanne. I had my hand up.
Hi, Suzanne.
I was thrilled when you listed the different CRMs that the new system is going to be able to connect us, because I have an iPhone, and of course I have the Apple or iPhone contacts. I have Constant Contact. I have Google account, with stuff in there. And then I also have an app with the company that I represent. Sizzle has an app that I have contacts in there. And, I right now am individually loading all of those. Every time I get somebody new, in Sizzle, I put them in that, I put them on my phone, I do this. So with this new integration that you're talking about, wonderful things tomorrow, is it going to be possible to integrate, some of these? Because before, when I asked about my Apple contacts, they were saying, no, we can't do that. But it sounds like the new system is going to say, yes, you can. So that, to me, is a marvelous thing. If you could just, maybe, is it like, would it be like $10 for each one of those a month, to connect them as type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each system that you want to tie.
Yeah.
So what I would do is, maybe you just need to get a dump from your iPhone. So maybe you sign up for a month and get everybody out of your iPhone, and then you don't need that sync anymore. Start using, one main system where everybody goes, and then you can use that integration to get everybody over to Mailbox Power.
Well, I've thought about doing that. I don't mean to extend this too long, but I thought about doing that. But it's like, if I want to text somebody or call somebody, I have to go to my iPhone contacts to get the information right now. So if I dump everybody out of that, where would I get information to call somebody or text somebody? Or
that was just an example. So you could,
In Mailbox Power. On your
I know
phone.
you can, but if you have your phone, well, never mind.
it doesn't leave your phone, if that's what you're asking.
No, I
Okay.
realize that, but
Okay.
I tried texting from Mailbox Power once before, didn't quite work, so, but that was quite a while ago, so maybe it works now. But anyway, I was just wondering how I could, connect all those, because that would be wonderful if I could.
Yes, one of the things that you said you use, I'm not sure about, but again, the workaround is to export the information to Google Sheets. That's like the most basic thing. So no matter what your customer is using, the real requirement, besides first name, last name, and a mailing address to get the information over, is the system they're using you have to be able to export from it. So they call it an open API. And so if they have an open API, we can, at the very least, get the information over to Google Sheets and then Google Sheets to Mailbox Power.
Oh, I'm laughing because I was just working with an these guys sell piping. And for some reason, their CRM is locked down tighter than insurance agencies are, which insurance agencies are locked down pretty tight. And they couldn't export anything. And they cleverly went in and did copy and paste into Google Sheets and imported it right into Mailbox Powder, slick as nothing.
Wow.
So I'm sorry if I missed it. Is that a Zapier integration too, or there's a direct way to bring a Google Sheet into Mailbox Power? You just download it like you would an Excel spreadsheet?
No, Mailbox Power gets the information from the Google Sheet live. So if you typed in something into the Google Sheet, it would appear in Mailbox Power.
Ooh, how does that work? Are we going to learn about that tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's an integration, right? That's an integration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that quick to set up? Is that something that a regular person could do, not an expert like you?
A regular person, yeah. Remember, I kept telling you, it's going to be easy. I mean, the hardest part is you signing up for your account with this company and picking your username and password. After you've chosen the two systems, I want this CRM to tie to Mailbox Power. You literally put in your credit card information, and then it shows you a page where all the fields have already been mapped for you. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to click a button that says Activate Sync. That's it. If you want anything more advanced done, well, come see me. But really, that's it. It's super, super easy.
That's just to bring the data in, though, not to actually activate more than one automation?
It runs continuously in the background. So anytime you add a new contact that meets some bare minimum requirements, they just go over to Mailbox Power.
Cool.
So, did you have a question, Marie?
No, I'm just in awe.
Oh, okay. So, just so you guys know, and in fact, let me get the link. I'm going to give you the link. Tomorrow is a big lunch and learn. So they're going to be talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Hopefully they don't complicate it and make it sound harder than it is, because I'm really telling you it's easy. So let me grab a link, because the following day, on Thursday, the two guys from this company and myself are going to be hosting a sync session. And that's where we're going to get into the nitty gritty, and we're going to take you inside the system and show you whatever you want us to show you. So
That's Thursday?
That's Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. There. And you guys can go register right now. So we know who to send the recordings to.
So when I think about how this works in practical life, it sounds to me like what an integration does for you is saves you time if you're the kind of person that has stuff that goes out regularly at specific stages. Like, it's nice to meet you at the BNI. Thank you for becoming a customer. Merry Christmas. You've got specific things that you do fairly often that you have automations going for. And that then means that you can just stay in your CRM and it automatically happens behind the scenes, and you're all good when the tag changes or the status changes or the hashtag or whatever. But if you want to do anything different, like a condolence card, or, oh, let's add in a fall card we didn't have before, you've got to get out of your CRM, come into Mailbox Power, create that, and either send it through the cart and avoid the automation altogether, because your groups are there in Mailbox Power because your CRM is talking and they're already formed there. So that's good, right?
Right.
But you could still go through the cart to those groups, right? Or set up an automation and a tag for it and send it off, right?
Yep.
So you still have to learn Mailbox Power to some degree, or have your admin do that when you're doing anything outside of your ordinary set of cards.
Mhm.
And this wouldn't be good for people who don't have a set of cards that they use often.
No, but again, to onboard them properly, right? You want them to, whether you're downloading free stuff from the design store, or you're coaching them to buy certain ones from the design store, whatever the case is, getting those initial, the ones we do in the done for you, the thinking of.
Oh, just getting your contacts into the system is an advantage. Is that what you're trying to say is an advantage? Just getting them in.
Well, but having everything set up. So like you said, right, you've got standard things that go out, but just because it's tag based or stage based doesn't mean you couldn't, everybody gets a birthday card. So you don't have to set up an integration for that, because you add your groups to the automation that sends the birthday cards, right?
Right.
So anytime you would have to log into Mailbox Power to send a one-off type thing would still stand true whether there's an integration in place or not.
Okay.
And the advantage I see, Laura, is for an agent who doesn't have any automations at all set up, but they're constantly adding, new prospects or new clients, even though they're not, let's say they don't do any birthday campaigns, no nice to meet you campaigns, nothing. But over 6 months' time, they may add 30 or 40 or 100 different clients. And it's
Automatically added.
so if I don't send any automations, but I still want to get in there and I want to send a coffee mug, I have their name and their address automatically in there. So I think it's worthwhile, even if people don't, which obviously they should use automations, but even if they don't, there's still a big benefit to it, as long as it's only $10 a month.
Yeah.
So of course I have a high level question.
Okay.
So like right now we've got the closing gift automation that goes 2.5 years, the ultimate closing gift for real estate agents.
Mhm.
Is there any way to have the systems talk to each other to notify you when someone is ending a campaign? Because Mailbox Power currently can't do that. So is that something you can create a zap or a link for to say, so-and-so is falling off and you need to, are you going to add them to a menu card campaign or something?
No, but yeah, because people would be getting added randomly.
Yeah.
Right? No.
Okay.
Sorry.
That'd be cool. Forward and backward reporting.
Well, it's not that. I mean, if it's open on the Mailbox Power side, then maybe we could get the information. It's just, I don't know. I haven't been asked that. So actually I'll write that down so that I can ask Justin, because he'll know, right? when a campaign or when an automation is
A multi-step automation, a multi-shipment automation is ending. Is there any way for a CRM to notify you when individuals are about to end a multi-shipment automation?
well,
That'd be a huge thing.
it would be like an email. Send an email to you. Hey, so-and-so just finished.
Love that.
So am I correct in my thinking that the people, or the companies, I should say, who are most likely to want to use this through their CRMs would be a situation where the head of the company or the head of the department wants all of their people using it, but wants control over what is being sent. So that person or somebody decides what card, what gift for each of the various automations. And as a new employee or rep or agent starts working with them, all they need to know is the tags, and this automatically goes out. They have no control over what's being sent because it's been dictated to them. And they don't have any desire or even knowledge that they could go into a Mailbox Power account to create something different or do something on their own.
That is one use case. Yes, for sure. Certainly not I don't know if that's a normal use case or not. I mean, obviously there's real estate broker, you know, the brokerage that's big, and but I think each individual agent winds up with their own Mailbox Power account, right? Yeah. Okay. So there's that. There's and it's not even about being stuck with a particular card. You could have, it's just all, if you want to not be inside Mailbox Power constantly, if that just makes your head spin, then integrations are your best friend, because you can pick your you could even pick a female nice to meet you card and a male nice to meet you card. I mean, you could be specific like that if you want, or you could just have everything, you know, be generic and go out.
But to pick those cards, you've got to get into your Mailbox Power account to know what's in there.
Initially, yes. Like I said, you got to have stuff. Initially, you're going to need to be in there to get things set up. But when it comes time to getting your contacts in and everything that happens after that, magic.
I would say this would be a really good case for anyone that has a large database to manage, so that, say you've got a bank and you've got someone that just comes in and sets up a new account, and you want to build a relationship. So you put in the birth date and they automatically get the birthday and the holiday card and a special every other month, just because the company sets it up or whatever, so that the admin is not sending out a bunch of cards, that it's being done automatically. There's a moving company in town that is using another database to find out who's moving, and they are excited about the capability of sending out letters that are automated through Mailbox Power. That could be another use. And then you go back and touch them in a couple of months with, who do you know that's getting ready to move, or who do you know that's moving into town? I don't know. But I think it's a high volume user. This is a perfect answer. And it's like all of us do. We set up one birthday card in January, and it goes out to males or females or dogs or whatever. But you do the same thing with your nice to meet you card. One generic card goes out to everybody. So I kind of see that as how this can be used to its best advantage. Am I reading this wrong, Andrea?
No, you're right on, right on. You've got it. Well,
basically, this is not for the casual user.
It could be for a casual user. If you're in your phone and if you're getting contact information in your phone in somewhere, and you want to be able to at least have them automatically populate in Mailbox Power without having to hand jam them in or export Excel spreadsheets and constantly be importing them. It really could be for not a power user, just somebody who wants to use the system and have everybody's address, so that if they want to log in and create something custom like Jim is notorious for, then their address and name and everything's there. He doesn't have to worry about it. He's got to worry about the images and creating the mug and the card, and that's it. The rest is already living in Mailbox Power form. He doesn't have to, you know, he entered it once somewhere else and now it's done. Does that make sense?
Andrea, I just had another thought. One of the things in the executive section program, you can put people's pictures, you know, along with their account. Is that something that integration will carry over? I have a feeling no. Yeah. Does anybody have a way to do that easily? Because I was just searching Facebook, getting pictures of people and putting them in my account, but it seems like it should be an easier way to do that.
There's probably programs out there, software available. There's software that can scrape a page for contact information, emails, phone numbers, stuff like that. But they're not the most user-friendly things, and I don't know if it exists for images or not.
I just was thinking of that, images and logos and all those fun things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still have to do that. Like Jim will still have to go out and take pictures of the house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Google Maps is fun for that.
That's true. That's true.
But
That's true.
I'm sure you use drive-by pictures, right, Jim? No? You're on mute.
What did you call it? Firefight?
Drive by.
Oh, drive-by. I thought you meant some kind of software. Yeah, I always, yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, that's like if it's a downpour and it's a real cloudy day, then I would have a Google shot, but otherwise I always take my own photos.
All right, well, I've gone over time. I'm happy to stay for about 10 more minutes. Got to take my daughter to church tonight, but I can stay if you want me to, or we can end it. It's totally up to you guys. I don't want to leave you hanging, especially with the
I got one more question. How close did the fires come to you?
Not very.
Good.
It was smoky, but we were safe. So thank you for asking.
I have a
Thank you, Andrea. That was good.
question. So
Thank you. I need to jump off too. So thank you for doing this, Andrea.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Bye.
See you all soon.
Okay.
I guess
Laura.
the answer is obvious, but if you've got a tag for all your current customers, for example, and they're in a current customer group, but then someone is no longer a customer, if you remove the tag, does it remove them out of that group in Mailbox Power too? So you have to manually remove people, but the tags will add, the integrations will add people.
It will add. So another great question.
So you do have to manage it. You do have to manage the removal of.
Okay, so, well, they could be added to a kind of a catch-all group, or what was your use case example?
So say you're in a tag based, okay, and it's a tag of current customer, and so they probably go into a current customer group in Mailbox Power, but then they move away or die or something, and you change the tag to, or you delete them. Maybe you delete them out of your system, or you change the tag to a dead lead or something, right?
Mhm.
Does that remove them from the current customer list and move them into a dead group, or delete them from the system? Or do you have to manage that end of it by hand?
Excellent question. I will get answers. And for our
Or
same
just move,
question,
yeah, and just move between groups. Like maybe a prospect group becomes a customer group, and some stay prospects, and some become. Does it take them out of the prospect group and put them into the customer group?
and contacts move between groups. That's what we want to know.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay.
Does it identify duplicates? That would be my question. Like if I already have someone in my Mailbox Power database and then I want to integrate my constant contact database into Mailbox Power, will it add them duplicate?
It will
record?
not add a
Probably.
duplicate. It will not add a duplicate
It won't?
if it exactly matches.
Yeah, okay.
So 123
Right.
Main Street is going to be different than 123 Main ST period.
Right.
Does it have to match the name too, or just the? Is it just
Name
looking at the
too.
address? Or the
Name
name?
It has to be exact everything, I'm
Ugh.
sure. Yeah, that's frustrating, but yeah, I get that.
Well, this is.
It's that old problem that, yeah, the duplicate records, that doesn't really have, it's hard to do because then it has to go through every single record that's there already, and that would take too long.
Yeah.
I remember Justin explaining that once.
Remember the garages? Didn't you use that as an example for us? There was different colored cars and they were all in a garage. He was explaining.
I don't remember
arrays.
that, but
He was explaining arrays. ARRAYS. And it was very complicated, and Zapier couldn't do it. And anyway, hopefully very soon we'll have a two-way, very communicative street.
it sounds
between
great. Thank you,
Mailbox
Andrea.
Power. You're welcome, Kim. Thanks for coming.
I'm gonna hop on.
Thank you
Okay.
very, very much.
All right, I'm gonna
Have
end
fun
it.
tonight. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Where's
Bye, Stan.
Bye.